Hi friends, and welcome back to Gardening Suburbia. My name is Amanda. I'm a homesteader here in Cincinnati, Ohio, Zone 6, and currently just in my backyard harvesting a bouquet of flowers to kind of liven up my house. And I found this. So this is one of the melons that I had been watching for quite a while, and as you can see, a critter found it. It smells so good. It smells so good. But there are ants crawling in and around it. I'm getting eaten up by the mosquitoes already. What I think I'm gonna do is, this right here has some really ripe, mature seeds. I'm gonna go ahead and actually save the seeds from this guy. I'll have to look back to see what variety it was, because I can't quite remember at the top of my head at this current moment. But all I know is, boy, I wish I would have looked at this morning, because it probably would still be with us. So I'm gonna put this to the side. I'm going to finish harvesting some flowers because I need or want to put some in my house. I want a pretty bouquet, which I actually put some snapdragons. Not very pretty, well, not perfect snapdragons. So this is where the melon was before it got. We have a couple different kinds of snapdragons. We've got a snow white, just that white variety. Our orange cream, orange wonder, and then the center one is the Madam Butterfly. It is a double-petaled snapdragon, which the snapdragons look like they're going to really take off for the fall, which is awesome because we really didn't get very many in this bed this spring. I need to come through here and kind of do some stuff. There's a lot of things that need to be done in the garden always, especially as we're coming around to September. The squash bugs are going wild. You can see all of them everywhere. I'm sure if I turn over some leaves, you could probably see some squash bug eggs. Yeah. So those are squash bug eggs. Now, it's kind of a little too late for this because they're already going crazy. But I just squish them by hand because it works. But those guys are just everywhere. We do have some bell peppers, shishito peppers, overgrown cucumbers, some severely overgrown cucumbers, a whole bunch of things that just need love and water, lots of water. I honestly should set up the sprinkler. I think I'm gonna do that. So let's grab our flowers, my shears, and let's get the sprinkler on. All right, before I turn the hose on, I am going to harvest some tomatoes. It has not been a great tomato year for me. I don't know if it's been the weather, if it's been me we're camera shy, or if it's just the sheer amount of neglect I've given my garden this year. Even still, it is producing. So today we had noticed a cat in the garden. We have a lot of stray cats in my neighborhood, and my boyfriend and I came out to say hi to it, and it bolted. But in doing so, I did notice this among all of the dead things. So I'm pretty sure this is one of the ox heart tomatoes. That is a beautiful, huge tomato, and probably the best looking tomato I potentially will get this season, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna put that in the bucket. I'm gonna take that before the critters do. There are a few other smaller tomatoes I can harvest. I've just been putting them in bags in my freezer, waiting for the day that I have enough to actually do something with. So I do have a ton of my San Marzano tomatoes, which is just a paste tomato. These guys are in a kiddie pool, literally. I think there are 3 tomatoes in this kiddie pool, and while they do have a ton of tomatoes on them, a lot of them have been succumbing to the pressures of being on the ground. So they're just getting thrown back in the garden, because who doesn't love a volunteer plant come next season? I think that's all I had. Just 2 little lonely guys. Most of the garden, again, needs a lot of water. Even though it's not been very hot. All the things are sad and droopy. So let's gather what I can see to put away. And yes, I am using a bucket because it is useful. I've got some blossom end rot. That's no good. We've got a lot of this going on this year, which is not great. Whatever that is. It's just been a weird year for tomatoes. There are some, I think these are my Sheboygan. Yeah, which is a paste tomato. They have been doing pretty well, despite all of the dead. Some of them not so much. Okay, back in the garden bed you go. You might be, yep, dead as well. Is that all the tomatoes? She is a modest harvest, but it's okay. The sun is definitely setting. I'm gonna have to set a timer for bald-faced hornet. Don't like those. Gonna set a timer for my sprinkler. The trellis is being overtaken by loofahs, which are all these yellow flowers. Cucumbers. Watch out for the spider. This guy I'm leaving. I'm gonna let him get all nice and mature so I can harvest seeds from him, because I don't have any more seeds from this guy, which is the China Jade. These cucumbers have been delicious. There are a few cucumbers on here that I need to take care of, whether that's eat or just compost. We do have some other little guys starting to grow, which I do like to harvest these guys when they're probably 1.5 inches thick, pretty young. The seeds aren't quite as mature. Got this little spider, if you guys can see him. I'll leave him be. I accidentally, well, not accidentally, I very purposely moved his web so that I wasn't stepping into him. I'm gonna harvest some of these pimento peppers as well, just because they're ready. These are my favorite. All right, we're gonna turn the hose on now. Get out of here. We're inside now, and I'm gonna get these flowers arranged in some way or another. So, by no means am I a professional at arranging flowers. It's really fun. So we have some marigolds, and I'm not sure on this variety because I'm pretty sure I got these ones for free at my farmer's market. Looks like we're gonna have some freeloaders, some bugs that made their way inside. Pop him in the water. So we've got some marigolds. I believe I have another variety of marigold too. Look how pretty. So this one is super frilly and fun. There's a spider on this guy. I'm sorry. Marigolds smell so fragrant. So we've got this bright orange and a bright yellow. This one's like a double petal. This one's a single. We have some asters, just a white variety. Just got a bundle of 3. Thought this would be fun. Got a leaf hopper inside too. For filler, this is hyssop, which is actually a medicinal plant. I have not used it as a medicinal plant quite yet, but it puts off these really beautiful, like dark purpley lavender flowers, which I thought would be nice as a filler. We of course saw our janky snapdragons. Typically when you harvest snapdragons, you want them to be some nice straight stems, but what you're looking for on the flowers is that this guy is almost what you want, besides being all crooked. So you can see towards the top, these flowers are kind of closed. And the bottom of the flowers at the bottom is where it's going to start to flower or start to open, and then as it gets towards the top of that stem is where the blooms are going to be closed. So you want to kind of harvest where it is. There is a leaf bug on this. Gosh. You want to harvest where the top like third is still closed. It gives you the longest vase life, and maybe not a so crooked stem. I did grab a few zinnias. We've got this nice deep purple red, nice bright orange, another orange. I think this is the Isabellina, just like a light yellow. And with zinnias, you want to harvest when you shake the top and it doesn't wiggle too much. You want a nice sturdy head. So like this was almost a little too young. But these ones, they're nice and sturdy. I went ahead and harvested one of my roses. This is an arbor rose, or a trellising rose. It smells so good. This one is out in the front of my house. I'm gonna go ahead and try to knock off the thorns, because I already got myself once. So this year, this rose has grown like 3 feet tall, and I think I planted it last year. So next year, this guy should be trellising a ton, which I'm super excited about. Okay, so we got no more thorns, which is nice. So just a pretty white rose to go with some of the other whites. I've got some small gummed or small leaved gum. eucalyptus, just as some filler. And this filler I will actually take out of the vase and put upside down somewhere to dry in my house so that I can use it in other applications. But for today, they're gonna go in some vases. And then we've got some cinnamon basil that has started to go to seed. So it's got its pretty little light purple flowers on it. Again, some nice leafy foliage. And then we've got a small zinnia. And then last but not least is our dahlias. So for today's dahlias, we have our lark's ebb, which would be this guy, and this guy. And then I'm pretty sure this is our pinna. This is one that I gotten from as a plant started from seed by my sister. I saved tubers from it last year, and this is what we've got this year. So it's really pretty, like almost cactus petaled, but it's very similar to the lark's ebb. It just has like a different petal structure, and it doesn't quite have the little streaks that the lark's ebb does. So it's kind of like a pinky, orange, yellow, white mix up. I'm gonna go ahead and I like thrifting, and so I thrift a lot of fun different vases just to kind of mix it up. I'm gonna use both of these today. This little crystal one actually has a lid, which is cool, but we don't need the lid. Can't use the lid with the flowers. So these, I'm blanking on what they're called. I will link them down below. This is just another way of displaying flowers. So a lot of people have been coming into flower frogs, which are just basically a disc that sits at the top of your vessel and it has holes in it. It could be really made out of any material. I think most commonly they're made out of either plastic or glass, but you could literally drill holes into ceramic. You could use plastic, like a solo cup. Yeah, possibilities are endless. So I've been using these. So we're going to start this one is going to be our big vase because it holds more water, and these guys will dry out pretty quickly. I'm going to give this big one the asters because they're kind of bundled together. I could kind of cut them apart, but I think that they're nice and I can kind of build on top of this. So I think I'm gonna just start building.
Okay. Came down on high yesterday. Horses come without a rider. Meadowlands said locusts in play. Forecast brimstone fire. But she not worried for any loss of this April's toils. It's not but a readjustment for the seamstress soil. So then you wander that Epic Avenue, paying no mind to the prophets. Keep your eyes on that magic almanac in sky. She'll lie away to garden. And when you get there, raise your head. Work on works of wonder, but listen well what the seamstress says, lest you be planted for summer.
While these are not pumpkin bouquets, they are beautiful bouquets, and they're going to fill my home with some joy. So if you guys enjoyed this video, very impromptu, very flitty, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I will go ahead and pop a video up here for you guys to enjoy until my next upload. But until then, take care of yourself. Enjoy the small, beautiful flowers, whether they're wibbly wobbly or not. And I will see you guys in the next video.